Hi everyone, this is Deborah. Welcome back, and today I'm going to continue on with another few squares in my doily quilt. So this here is a little doily, which I thought was a doily. Very cute, but I discovered when I actually looked at it further that it's got a pocket in it. So it may be like a tooth fairy little pillow. It's ever so cute. I am just going to stitch it down though. I know that's going to hide the pocket, but I really don't want to tear it off or anything, so I'm going to leave it as a little pretty piece and stitch it down. And then I thought if I put it in the center I can do some things around it then, and I've got some of these sort of leftovers and some new stuff as well, so I'm wondering what I could do to it to make it look a bit, you know, to get the pretty things on there that I like. I don't think I want any embroidery on there as such. And you can see this one here is quite damaged, but that's okay because I can use bits and bobs of it. I like this with the little grey edging on it as well. So I could do that one, cut a piece of that one and put that on. I think this is a hanky, that one. I've also got some damask here, which, have I cut this? No, that's not been cut yet. I sort of thought it might be nice to use some of the bits that I've chopped already, so I may go and look for those, although I like this. That would look quite nice there, wouldn't it? Under, over, I think. Yeah, I think I'll do that one there. And I don't think it's going to lend itself to any bits like that. I think maybe if I stick with, you know, whole doilies that are around the outside like that, it might look better. Let me see what else I've got in here. Do I need another embroidered one? I don't think so. I may need a piece of lace or something to go through there, or even something like that. Yeah, I could put that through there, couldn't I? I'll just grab my scissors. Now this actually has some embroidery on it, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I could use that though. If I put all of that up there like that, then I could get that embroidery in as well, couldn't I? No, I'm not going to do that. I've just made a decision. Let's chop it. I'll tuck that under there. And that one can go under there because it's got that raw edge on it, so that's going to stop that. Although, because now I struggle with the issue that this piece here will be caught in the seam allowance, and that's not what I want. So what I'm going to do is move it over a little bit, and when I stitch it, I'm only going to stitch along there so that when I go to put the binding on, I can lift that up and put the binding underneath it. The sashing, I mean, I keep saying binding. I hope you know what I mean. I mean sashing. Let's pin some of this down. And probably on that side's going to be okay as well. Although, if I put it over a little bit more, kind of got that caught in there too. Right, and then I'll move this over a tad. Right, okay, how's that looking? I think that's fine. I don't want anything to detract from the pretty centerpiece, so yeah, like that wouldn't really go, would it? But these ones here that have got some stitching on them would probably be perfect for that. Right, chop this one as well. And I need to go through and pull out all my things that are like not bits I've cut off, because I don't want to end up at the end of the day with boxes of half-cut doilies. I want to kind of use what I've got on this piece. Now I am going to chop this bit off here and keep that, So I will have to sit down and do that just to make sure that I've got everything, you know, that I'm using up my bits, that I'm not just madly having things everywhere that are stitched. I don't like that there. I'm going to move it over here. And again, I'm just going to put it underneath this one. May have to just move that pin for a moment. And then with this, I don't like how they're both level. So this definitely has to go under here because that looks a bit strange when they're both level. And I will put something there, like maybe a little bit of lace or something like that. Now, because I do want a bit more stitching in this, I'm wondering if I can put something like that here. And this time I'll put it underneath. I don't want them both on top because, again, to my eye, that looks a bit strange. I think, you know, it depends what you like, what your, you know, your sort of visual interest, what sort of things you're being, you know, your inner voice is telling you. Like mine's saying, let's move that up so I don't have to put anything else at the top there. And I think that's a bit too heavy this way now. And again, I'm not going to stitch that all the way down. So when I come to put the sashing on, it will be sashed through there. I don't know if that looks a bit weird. Just trying to... No, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I need something completely different now to put here. I've got this white stuff, which is white doily, not stuff. I shouldn't call it stuff. I have a white, I think it's a tray cloth or something, which I'm going to put down here like that, I think. Probably put that one over the top as well. And then I just need one thing for there. I think I need something white though, because if I have something cream, I think that's too much cream. I need to balance it out with some white over here. I found a tiny little bit of lace that was already cut off, so that's going to go under there like that to hide that edge. I'm going to put that one all the way out. That might be difficult. No, I'm not. I will cut it off. Yeah, I was thinking that I could catch that into the binding, but that's not going to work because I don't want to catch those other two. So it's going to have to be lifted up as well. And then that little bit I will pin. And then I found a little tiny bit of white handkerchief that was left over from something. So again, I'm just going to cut that probably right here and put it under there. Like that. Now, because I like that little hanky so much, I'm going to also put a bit on here. I'm wondering how I can do that to get it in. Just thinking how that's going to work. And I actually didn't look which was the top and which was the bottom, but I'm pretty sure this is the top. I'm just going to sew it on like that for now, and then I can always put something else on there. Thinking what else I could put. I don't necessarily want another piece of lace because I think that'll look a bit dinky, but maybe like a piece of laundry label across here, something like that. As long as that's the raw edge doesn't have to be covered. I've got raw edges elsewhere, as you know, in the quilt, but I think something across there. So I didn't actually end up pinning this one down. I better do that. All right, so we'll sew that one, put it aside. And this is the next square. And this piece came from this really long table runner. It has a fair bit of damage on it and it's really worn thin, look. But I don't know about you, but I actually really love that. I think that looks beautiful, how it's all worn through. So I will be using that. And even this one's got a bit of wearing on it, but I'm going to put this one here like that. And then I thought I could put some other things around it, like this doily here. Might put that up a bit. And then this here is a piece of my vintage lace that I got off Etsy from Carolyn at the linen, I think she's called the linen drawer from memory. So if I put that bit down there like that, let me see, is that going to look all right? I think so, yes. Let's just cut this. I'll cut this with the rotary cutter. And I know you all go mad at me for not shutting my rotary cutter, so I'm apologising to everyone. I do try and shut it. And the other thing, of course, that people are saying I do, which I know I do, is I leave it open and then I talk with my hands. You know, I don't know why I talk with my hands. I've always talked with my hands. And yes, they're worried I'm going to cut myself. And I know that that might be cause for concern. Now I cut that too short because I wasn't paying attention. Let's see if this one works. Oh, look at that. And yes, so thank you for your concern that you've all had for me possibly cutting myself with my rotary cutter. I fully understand, and I do try to close it every time. I also leave my scissors opened as well. I know, I'm terrible. And I'm a real klutz. Somebody told me you can get something called a klutz glove, which is kind of like one of those medieval chainmail gloves that they used to wear so that, you know, you won't cut yourself. But I think I'd need a klutz suit because, you know, I'm always falling over, hurting myself, you know. I've cut myself with kitchen knives countless times, so I'm really sorry to everyone that it bothers. Please accept my sincerest apologies. I will try and do better. Now, I'm going to use that piece, but it's sort of not going the way that I want it. So I'm going to put it under here like that. Now, that's a bit of offcut from another one of the squares that I did. So I might tuck that under there, like that. And then I've got a piece of lace that I'm thinking might look nice, sort of across there. Okay, that's good. Coming together. I just want to make sure this is up the correct way. Yes. So I did notice that one of the squares that I've done, I've actually put the doily up the wrong way. In fact, it's quite a large piece, so I'm going to have to cover it. I don't have to, but I may cover it. There you go. What do you think? You think that one's finished? Well, stage one's finished. I think so. And we'll do another one. Now, don't forget that I am showing you up close and personal the results. I've done some of those already, and I will continue to do that for those that are interested on a day that's not the day this video or these videos are coming out. Look at this one. What do you think if I just put that? I just plopped that on there and thought I really like that. Let me press it. Oh, that best press smells so delicious. I wish you could smell it, or if you've got it already, you probably do. It's just lovely. I think that looks really nice like that. I think that's got a little break in it, but that's okay. Yep, I like that a lot. So I just need some bits for the outside. Maybe like a bit of cream. so that the shape of this one stands out still. And let me try and find another piece that might fit in there. I've got that, but I think that detracts. But what about a piece of this handkerchief here? Like that. I think that's going to look weird because you're going to see that underneath, so that's not going to work. But let's find something that will work. Bit of colour. Try that. No. Don't like that. Just a bit more of this one, probably. Maybe I can put that side over the top. I think that I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure about that. Maybe if I cut this one here, let me just cut it down and turn it around. Again, just trying to see which is the up. Does it matter? Yes, it does matter. So if I put this under here like that, I might cut this piece off here so I don't need that bulk under there. But I like this edge here. Or the other way. I had it the other way, I forgot. Okay. What about this piece down the bottom? Yeah, it's definitely got a right and a wrong side. No, I'm going to leave it like that, and then I'll look at what else I can put on it when I come to the embellishment stage with this one. I think once this is all sort of squared up, I'll have a better understanding of how I want it. Okay, number 3. Okay, I've stitched all those down. While I was stitching this one down, I realised that this has been hand tacked, that piece of lace around there on the edge. So this must be a genuine handmade. Sometimes it's hard to tell some of these whether they're made by people who always do it, who are, you know, like factory sort of processes, but that's actually been hand tacked around it. So I definitely have to use that again. And where is my ruler? Here. Okay, let's put this on and cut it and see how it looks. It's not quite off there. Anyway, I can fix that. Oh, I've got a pin in there too. I did stitch that down. Let me just cut this bit here. There you go, that's that one. Looks lovely, doesn't it? I like this one a lot. I'm going to do more of this layering. I may even layer something else on there, you know. For example, if I put some like that on there. And where's that other bit? Maybe I'll layer. That's a bit too big. I think that's a bit too big for there, but I could have put that one down there, see? That would have fitted perfectly, but never mind, I'll use that elsewhere. Okay, one. Let's do the other two. Oh, that's not it. Where did I put them? Here. Gosh, I've got them. It's all right. That looks about right. I think I have to come over a bit with that one. I'm not quite on that. What I really like about this method of making this quilt is that if you make any mistakes as such, then you can always just cover it up again. So it's a very easy, no pressure way for me to get a nice quilt, which I can then cover up. I do need to stitch that down because it's buckling up, but I can stitch that. And I like how the lace is over the flowers. It's a bit muted through some of that. I think there are a couple of bits of staining on there too, so it's covered that up while still keeping the image coming through. So yeah, I will just tack along there, do a little bit of stitching to hold that down. And I think I've got one more, haven't I, here? Oh yes, this one. And ta-da! Yeah, I like that. I think that worked really well. This might be another of those that I don't put anything on, although I could put something in the center there. But, you know, I probably will fill this gap, maybe that gap. We'll see what happens when it comes to it. So there you go. There's another 3 done. And I'll have to count them up and see how many I've got done altogether. I've still got some because I cut all the backing and, you know, these batting and the squares out, and there's still some of those sitting over there. So I'm not at my 36 squares, and I may do bigger than that. So please let me know what you think of those. Also let me know if you want me to do more squares. Like it takes me, let's look, about, I think probably 30, 40 minutes of filming. I mean, I film for longer, not much longer, but I do film a bit longer. You know, when I go and sew, I don't show you, you know, I stop the video and then come back. But let me know if you'd like to see more than 3 squares, because, I mean, I don't want the videos to be that long. I'd rather, you know, make more videos so that you get to watch the process. And that's all for today. Thanks for joining me. This is Deborah. Cheers.